Absolutely. So the three steps that I like to pave the road less traveled when you are achieving your authentic self and going from victim to victorious is step number one. Realize that it's baby steps. Having patience, perseverance, and the ability to constantly take action towards progression. Baby steps. So number one is self-awareness. Find out where it is you want to go, what you want to be, and what legacy you want to leave.
Hi everyone, my name is Bola Abimbola. Welcome to the Daily Soul Bytes show, where expert authors and speakers and entrepreneurs share strategies and tips to raise collective consciousness. And today my guest is ANDREA Mason. Welcome, ANDREA.
Welcome, Paula. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. So tell us about these three steps. You've written the book, and I know you're an expert on this.
Yes.
Three
Yes.
steps to go from victim to victorious.
Absolutely. So the three steps that I like to pave the road less traveled when you are achieving your authentic self and going from victim to victorious is step number one. Realize that it's baby steps. Having patience, perseverance, and the ability to constantly take action towards progression. Baby steps. So number one is self-awareness. Find out where it is you want to go, what you want to be, and what legacy you want to leave. Now, a lot of times in our life, individuals haven't gotten that opportunity to say, what do you want in life? Who do you want to be in life?
So
So
true.
take that moment, a deep dive in silence and being still and patient, and have self awareness to who you are and what your direction is. Baby steps. Step number two, allow yourself to be driven by distractions. What do I mean by that? When we have
Yeah,
distractions in
explain
life,
that. Oh, yes.
when we get driven by distractions, we are giving our 100% effort and attention to the external influences. So allow those distractions not to distract us. Be determined and disciplined enough to follow the road ahead. Distractions sway you, allow you to feel that you are able to multitask. But believe you me, when you distract yourselves and divert yourself away from distractions and gain discipline, that and then and only then are you able to follow the path ahead and constantly fail forward to fruition. Dreams don't have destination. Dreams do not have deadlines. They create destinations. So number
Very
one,
nice.
patience, baby steps. Number two, drive yourself away from distractions. Be determined, driven, and dedicated. And finally, number three, remember not to say yes to someone else before saying no to yourself. What do I mean by that? Many individuals are people pleasers in this world. They want the likes, they want the appraisal, they want the recognition, they want the success. But if you are saying yes to others and no to yourself, you are not being fully abundant and true to thyself. Being authentic is being comfortable with the uncomfortable, allowing yourself to grow, feel, heal, mature, and live your best life. When you act with authenticity, you gain a sense of character and integrity. And when you have the true identity that you've carved out through your personal experiences and life adversities, that is when you become your true and best self. Those, my friends, are the three components that I have taken to go victim to victorious. This is my book. And of course, let me see if I can do this on the recording because I didn't realize it. Pardon me. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, victim to victorious. Not only is it my personal tribute and story thus far, but it's also a journey of following your heart, not the herd nor the hurt, for success and joyfulness are on the other side.
Oh, that's beautiful. So the 3 steps are: 1,
Yes.
be patient
Yes.
and take baby steps.
Right.
And the second is distractions, to be mindful of those distractions. And the third step, tell us the third step again.
The third step is being your authentic self,
Yeah.
creating your own identity through life's adversities. Many times we can say, Andrea is the go-to person for this. Andrea is the go-to person for that. She has this quality. She has this personal trait. But live your authentic life. Make sure that you are following your heart. What you see is what you get. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength, in the words of my coach, Les Brown. So be authentic, because when you're a copycat, you're not true to yourself.
I love that. I love that. Now, how did you get to this place? Tell us a bit about your story.
Absolutely. So, as people have heard before, I was born under the war-torn drug zone era at its prime during the cartel of Colombia, South America. At 11 pounds, at 11 months old, I was adopted and sent to America in the unconditional loving arms of my family. 1111 is the angelic numbers of a new beginning, a new opportunity, a new way. And so I took the pen in my own hand, because when we are younger, our story is told to us. But at what point, and at one point, you must take the pen in your own hand and write your own story. So through the trials and tribulations and all the experience of abuse and bullying of my peers, my colleagues, people within my environment, because I looked different, I spoke different, and I never fit in. I took those adversities of life and carved out my own identity.
So how did that adoption take place? Was it something that had been planned, or was it something that was sudden and unexpected?
Well, that's actually a great question. I don't know. I don't have medical records or much documentation at that time, as it was during the war in Colombia. But I do know that my parents were unable to care for me, let alone themselves. So they sent me to have another chance at life. And through an agency, I was able to be adopted from that orphanage and foster home in the interim to be adopted into America. And that became the launching pad as I endured the trials and tribulations through my life, that I was going to be the face of change of mental health, that my voice, my global voice, which was dubbed in early 2021 by the African Portal TV, I did a TV radio slot on, that it was my mission to be the face of change of mental health. That it's not what matters in your mind, but it's the mind, the matter that's in your mind that matters most. Because we can all have a feeling of fitting in. We can all have a feeling of being outcasted. But it's when our minds and our eyes go fade to black in the rest and the stillness and the silence and the darkness of night, that we are only consumed with our thoughts. Our thoughts can be positive or negative. And if we feed into those thoughts, that is who we become. As Confucius says, those who say they can and those who say they can't are both usually right.
That is such an interesting quote. And this is what I always say, because I am an emotional freedom coach.
Yes.
And this is about how we develop that self-awareness and become much more aligned to infinite intelligence. Because there is those two parts of us, the part of us that has been through so many tribulations, and the part of us that really is source, divine source, infinite intelligence. And how we become more aligned to that source is really where our healing begins, is really where our authenticity lies. And I love the way you have traveled through those tribulations from very young age, and how you're now a voice for the world, and how you're aligning deeper and deeper with that infinite intelligence. That is so beautiful.
Thank you. And it starts from the heart. I learned that I became an empath through the change of the world. I was always kind of questioning, how come I'm getting emotional to a stranger on the street? How come I was reacting to a Hallmark commercial? And then I become, as you said, intuitive. And I believe it started when I lost my mother in 2007. I ended up suppressing my emotions and not achieving personal freedom through the healing power of forgiveness. And what propelled me to do that was because I suppressed my emotions and went determined and let the distractions distract me of toxicity that endured me and propelled me to go into the hospital for a week. Then, when I realized it was the calling time of my life, I made a shift in my frequency. I changed my channel, is what I call it in speaking and coaching in my career. I decided to press play on life. Plan life according to you. You are the leader in your own life. That's why I don't dictate. I don't lecture. I just listen, learn, and love unconditionally. In this crazy world, as far distant as you as I are in the demographic conditions, we are all people of humanity. We want to be loved, we want to be understood, and we want to be respected. And if you put your attention and intention towards that with every single connection today, it lies in the result of here we are on this platform, two courageous women of resilience, of empowerment, of enlightenment, shining our lights in the darkness of this world.
Beautiful. There is no other way, Andrea. It is either we swim or we drown.
Yes.
And when we choose to swim, we become empowered. And it's a daily choice. It's really a daily choice. Where are you based, Andrea?
I am based in the northeastern regions of America. So United States. Yes.
Did you say northeastern region?
Yes.
Which
Yes.
state? Which state is that?
So I'm kind of like the northern part, not so much close to Canada, but
Okay.
but that region over there.
Okay.
Just out of respect for my previous employments of, in the social work industries, I have to respect my their privacy of where my exact demographic locations are, because I have worked with, inmates
Sensitive.
and yes, it's very sensitive,
Yes. So
but
what
we are
can
all the same. We are, as much as society wants to conquer and divide, and media, we're all individuals. So we're light, beautiful beings, just waiting to pass our flame to someone else. And if we live our life with the intention of filling each other's gaps and learning our areas of improvement and speaking intentionally, very rarely I'm very particular with my words. And if we just act with love and have the greatest intention, but also be confident and limited barriers, we can excel in anything that we do.
Very true. And the mind has such a way, it's the neuroplasticity of the mind.
Yes.
Constantly growing. And, we have got this three brains. You've got the heart, we've got the head brain, and we've got the gut brain.
Yes.
And I always say that spiritual awakening is something that happens when we realize that we are actually two selves, and we're not just that ego self. We are this divine self as well as the ego self. But then we still have to connect with our hearts, and we still have to connect with our gut in order for us to feel safe. Because until we feel safe, there is absolutely very little we can achieve. We are only achieving what we can feel safe about. And this is really what we are both talking about. It's
Yes.
sorry, you were going to say something.
No, pardon me. So I love that you brought it in the Trinity form because the ego, I see it, the way I was learned and the way I view it, my perspective. The ego is the challenger, really questioning, do you want to be intentional? Do you really want to do this? Do you want to
Yeah.
pursue this? The heart is from an empathetic root, the core nature of being, of
Yes.
ourselves. And the gut is our intuition, and it always steers us right. So once we have that alignment, we need the ego for boundary setting, for confidence, for boost, and to learn not that ego is negative, but to be
Mm.
humble and grateful. That taps into our heart. Our heart allows us to have emotions, empathy, as well as an interpersonal connection with someone else. When you
Yeah.
feel goosebumps when somebody says something, when you tear up because of a statement or a word or a vision. And then our intuition is kind of sort of in alignment with our conscious mind to steer us in the right direction. So thank you for bringing awareness to that
Yeah.
trinity of, who we are.
And it can be complicated, but it is quite
Mhm.
simple
Yes.
when we begin to practice. And it's not an easy journey. Spiritual awakening and personal transformation is not an easy journey, but it is well worth it, I always say. So
Absolutely.
what can clients expect when they come to you? How do you serve your clients?
Yes, the way I serve individuals is I am focused on them. It's as a coach, yes, at times we tend to lead, at times we tend to guide. But in my personal experience of my upbringing, the way I was raised in my journey, I am here to walk beside you, not because I'm not better than you, I'm not worse than you, but I've been there. With personal experience and personal development,
Yeah.
I listen, and you are centered and the focus of your future. And so, what I do is I shift the lens on expanding opportunities, expanding different perspectives and perceptions, as well as opening and bridging that gap from where you are to where you deserve to be, holding you accountable, holding you responsible, but not with judgment. That's not our role, nor a source or a greater power. We are here to enlighten one another.
Very
And
true.
I'm here to enhance your quality of life as you transform to the best version of you.
Oh, that's beautiful. And do you do that in your group or do you do that in individual sessions? How do
Yes, I
you?
do have an opportunity for both. If you have a community that would benefit, I obviously offer those services in your group setting. I also do one-on-one, and I also am professionally hired to speak or coach for any corporations or institutions or community. I'm all about giving to the community. It's
Mm,
one thing, as Einstein says, knowledge can get you only so far, but it's the imagination. And I like to add on innovation and inspiration that will have you encircle the world.
definitely inspiration. Inspiration is one of the five forms of abundance.
Yes.
And it is amazing how we sometimes focus on just the money side of abundance, but there are
Right.
other forms of abundance, and inspiration is another form of abundance, as well as
Yes.
synchronicity. And they
Absolutely.
are so plentiful around us. We are
Mhm.
so inspired by different things we see and hear, and we do not fully realize that this is abundance.
Mhm.
You know, these frequencies of inspiration and guidance that we get, the synchronicity that we get, it's
Mhm.
all abundance to guide us into our true authenticity. So I love, we are speaking the same language, Andrea.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful song once the melody is in sync.
Yes, 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 yes. And where can people find you if they want to
Absolutely.
contact? Yes.
Yes, I can be found at ANDREAMASON.com. All my media handles are there: LinkedIn, YouTube. I have over 1,000 videos of content on YouTube for every possible audience out there, just to kind of get an idea, because I'm all about relationship building. You have to understand what the mission and the story is behind the individual to decide and when you're ready to take that journey of the path less traveled. So I can be found at ANDREAMASON.com, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as my website has a myriad of all that I've done thus far. And I am ready to connect. And I welcome each audience member, including you, Bola, as a gift to meet with me, connect with me for 30 minutes and just see what you can achieve in 30 minutes. And we'll see where the next steps take us.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Bola, for having me. It's a true beauty, your spirit, your soul, your energy, and your synergy to share. And I love what you're doing. Thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I do want to thank all our listeners and followers. And I look forward to seeing you on the next recording of Daily Soul Bites Show. Bye-bye.